Hello, you have reached the Federal Correctional Institution in Terre, Haute, Indiana. This call is reference to an inmate. Press 0 or stay on the line. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. For information on visiting, press 1. Great.
Case Manager Swift, I'm currently unavailable. Please leave a message and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hello, Case Manager Swift. My name is Rudy Davis, and I'm inquiring about the well-being of Schaefer Cox. It is my full understanding and awareness that you work for an unethical, illegal, satanic, secret prison that incarcerates political dissidents within America, and I have made it my life's mission to expose you guys. You guys were put together by the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice without the proper oversight of Congress, without the proper funding, and without the approval of the American people. And I have evidence that you have tortured people. Hakeem Abdul Shahid has left that institution and talked about torture by guards within Marion Prison. He didn't specifically mention Terre Haute, but I have no reason to believe that you guys are any different. And there are reports that Schaefer Cox is suffering the symptoms of scurvy. And I wanted you to know, Mr. Case Manager Swift, that we are watching. We are paying very close attention to how you treat Schaefer Cox and to his health and well-being and welfare. I'm very concerned that you and Warden J.R. Bell and Warden B. True has blocked me from communicating with any prisoners for no good reason other than sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. And while you may think it's funny or you may think it's trivial to block my communication, I have raised this before the throne room of God Almighty, and I am asking that God's justice help.
Your message as urgent. Press 2 to re-record your message. Press 3 to review your message. Press 4 to append to your message. Press 5 to... Please record your message at the tone. When you're finished, just hang up. Or for more options, press pound.
All right, well, I'm running out of time, but Jeremiah 20:11, Psalms 109, and Psalms 5:5, I would ask that you read those, and I'm praying for God's justice like a mighty river to flow down upon the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice and the illegal, wicked, unethical reprobates that have incarcerated innocent men like Schaefer Cox. And I'm praying that you will be exposed in the light of day before the American people for your role in torturing and incarcerating and making innocent men suffer separated from their families. And we are paying very close attention to what goes on in Terre Haute, Indiana and Marion, Illinois. And even if the mainstream media doesn't pick it up, God Almighty, who breathed the universe into existence, who authored the King James Bible, is paying very close attention to the deeds of men. He knows every hair on our head, and he certainly understands the actions of our hearts. And it is my understanding that the wickedness and the evilness that goes on in Terre Haute, Indiana, and the blocking of communications and the making additional suffering of innocent men and women in those prisons will be brought to the light of day, and you guys will be brought to accountability for your actions in your role in whoring out your soul for filthy lucre to the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice. They say a few bad apples spoils the whole bunch. The entire Bureau of Prisons, which used to be operated under Charles E. Samuels Jr., who was a reprobate who did not even know the size of a solitary cell. I would ask you guys to read a book, From Jailer to Jailed, by Bernard Carrick, and he talks about how inhumane and brutal solitary confinement is. And when you guys put those men in solitary confinement, what was done in the dark will be brought to the light, and you will reap what you sow. Again, my name is Rudy Davis, and I am very concerned about your activities in this prison, and I will make it my life's effort to expose the wickedness within both of the secret hellhole prisons in Marion, Illinois and Terre, Haute, Indiana, and you think you can ban my communications, but God Almighty will not allow it to go for much longer.
To send your message, press 1. Thanks. Your message was sent.
Hello, you